In just 3 years, this apparel brand generated $30 million by keeping things simple.
They design and manufacture baby and kids clothing in unlimited colors and styles at an affordable price.
Let's dive into Primary. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Sean Azari here. I'm with Matt Skopak.
What's going on, everyone?
Welcome to Deep Dive, episode 35, where we take businesses like Primary and dive into their marketing business strategies such that you can take these tactics and start implementing into your business. Primary started in 2015 by two co-founders, right?
Yep. They were ex-marketing execs from diapers.com.
Yep. And they basically took a clothing line. They saw a little gap here. There's nothing actually really special about this company, but you're going to realize by learning some of these tactics and ideas, almost any type of apparel brand can blow up. They're just really taking specific niches and really keeping things, like we said in the title, simple.
Exactly.
So what they saw, there was a gap. Like they wanted children clothing that had no logos, that were very more generic. What they were finding is like a lot of the...
It was either pink for girls, blue for boys, and it had like, if it was a boy, it would say like hit a home run, or the girl would say princess. So they basically wanted to make it an inclusive company, just that was very simple, and that colors that could be used for girls or guys, designs that could be for either, and not have to stick with the standards of pink for girls and blue for boys. So that's when we say like nothing special about the company. They found a area of the market that just was not there, and they created a great brand to market.
Yeah, and a lot of, clothing brands for children, right? They're expensive, and, kids outgrow their clothes really fast, especially at that age. So you need something that's affordable and something that's non-generic. These two were people were looking for, and they saw that gap. So when you're starting a company, especially apparel brands, Matt and I were actually discussing this. Look, if there is actually a niche out there, if you start a clothing brand with just like astronaut figures for children, right? And you figure out a name and brand it in a certain way that you become the astronaut children's clothing. There's tons of children that love little astronauts or planes. So you become that, or a brand that's completely neutral with maybe they call it sublimation color, just like a pop of color here or there. You become that brand, but you got to brand in that certain way by sticking to your mission statement, so forth, which we get into as well. Is there any other things that we could add on about this brand?
I think we just dive into Galen and Christina's brand and how they started.
Awesome.
Primary. Number one, start with direct to consumer and then move into company owned retail. So this is something that me and Sean have seen through the last 35 podcasts, that these are what the newer brands are doing, and this is the right way if you're really looking to grow. So you need to start out your e-commerce brand direct to consumer. Build a customer base, really understand your customers, your products, your brand overall, what your mission statement is, and the value that you give to people. And don't jump straight into retail, either at Nordstrom's or any of these big boxes. We said before, they're dying out. There's very low profit margins that you're really making once you get into those stores. It's more about your name getting out there. What these companies now have been doing, just like Primary, and the reason why I brought this up is in 2019, they raised $20 million to start opening up locations like Warby Parker, like Men's Shave Club, like Casper, basically where people could walk in and understand and see the vibe, see that what their mission statement represents, feel the clothing. Obviously, I think it got delayed as they have no retail locations still open due to COVID, but I'm sure that is on the docket for 2021. So my recommendation is, even if you're a clothing company, start marketing on Instagram. Start doing a direct consumer using Shopify first, instead of opening up a boutique where you're having rent and four-wall spaces and other expenses that might put you out of business before seeing if you're successful.
It's crazy how many businesses still to this day, they're building their business based on other retailers to sell their products, right? We talked about skincare brands that I've actually worked with, that they're like, they basically brand themselves such that they're hoping for Bloomingdale's to carry them or other big retailers, and that's where they rely on their revenue.
Of course.
Rather than focusing on their website, really optimizing their customer journey, like building our whole experience where they could actually brand themselves without worrying about a third party to start marketing for them, to start selling their product, which is crazy because this is where it's at. We see that with Away, the brand we spoke about a couple weeks ago.
They're the same thing. They have their own shops as well now.
You know,
but once you get into those big retailers like Bloomingdale's or any of those Macy's, whatever, they lower and they get you to give them your product at such a low cost that you're not making any profit on that. And then they have their markups and things like that, and then they discount the customer. So it's not the best way anymore, guys. You really need to learn how to create a DTC business. And then if you want to open retail, I think it's a retail shop that you control the experience of the customer coming into your shop. And the proof is in just these companies that are coming to market. Away, Casper, Warby Parker, they're all doing this now.
Awesome. Number 2, create 12 to 15 second fast-paced Facebook ads. All these companies that I've seen, they're really sticking to this time range, and they're really fast creatives with sometimes text overlays. What I've seen with Primary is you'll see like kids' pants in different styles, really going. It's almost, I think it's called stop motion type of creative. That you see a bunch of like pants on top. Basically, you'll see one type of color pants, another type, another type, another type, another type. So you see all different types of colors, and then like a text to complete the story. You'll see outfits on different kids, 8-second type of ads. I believe in the last episode I talked about the farmer's dog, how they create these type of ads. They get right to the point because they literally, the average view time for video time that I've seen even in my ads, the percentage is not that high. I have a 30-second, which I do. I have a lot of 30-second, even like a minute-long ads. They're not really watching the full ad. So if you're not getting right to the point and capturing the user's attention, especially the first 10 seconds, you could lose the customer. So the first few seconds is so important, and keep it short and try to really, whoever you're actually targeting, depending on your audience, right? If you're trying to
capture them right away.
Yeah, and your ad creative should be customized for that particular audience. So create those fast-paced audience, create multiple versions, A/B test them, and so forth.
Awesome. Let's see. Number 3, stick to your brand mission and what your company stands for. So Primary, they grounded their company on 2 things: inclusivity and simplicity. So basically, they got rid of all these generic pink for girls, blue for boys, kids, any of that stuff, babies, whatever. So they are all about colors and styles and producing basically an unlimited amount of both so that the customer can order what they want. So every product that they release into the market, it is based on those 2 missions. So make sure when you launch new products or new departments or new trends or whatever, new releases, that everything always releases back to what you stand for as a company. So that's something that they're very good at. They know what they stand for. They stand for valuable company in terms of they gave great value to customers because their prices are so low. Why are they so low? Because they're direct to consumer. They manufacture from other countries using high quality ingredients, and then they sell straight to consumers. They cut out all the middlemen. That's how they provide valuable at items. I think what they sell is probably 50% of what their competitors' prices are. So everything that they do, they always stick to their brand mission of simplicity and inclusivity about what their colors are, the designs, and everything like that, and the value that they give to customers. So when you have your own brand, when you launch things, make sure that what you're launching and the products that you're offering match back to why you started the company, match back to the story of who you are. Because once you start going down that road of kind of pushing it and not really making sense, people kind of question the brand, and then your original products even get questioned.
Well, also your customer, when they're going to your website, maybe they want to buy more product, maybe their friend, they got a new baby and so forth, they're thinking their price point is going to be pretty affordable. So now if you're selling high price points, you might be confusing, you might lose the customer and so forth. So stick to your brand value. Also, because your mission is to be non-generic, stay away from logos and so forth, stick to that because that's what your brand thesis is about. That's what your brand is about. That's how you're going to differentiate yourself. Yeah, you might hit a small niche, but when you're trying to disrupt the market, and I believe this is a $30 billion market from when we're researching, you got to stick to a specific niche in order to actually disrupt. And then you could move around a little bit, but don't move around too much. And I believe, Matt, I don't know if we call those ingredients. said by sticking to their ingredients.
Oh no, they're fabrics. They're materials. We'll call them materials, ingredients.
Yeah.
We talk so much about food companies that I say ingredients.
All right.
Number 4.
Optimize your site search such that it becomes instant and automatic. So when you go to Primary's website, when you're typing, let's just say green, it'll see all of a sudden it auto-populates to green like green shirts, green pants, and so forth. If they type in yellow, you'll see yellow type of products. And there's ways of doing this. Now, you might think that's intuitive, that's obvious. No, there's actually, majority of times if you're building a site on Shopify, like a basic theme, the search feature doesn't do that. You got to actually add a third-party app, or you're going to have to ask a developer, which gets really costly, to actually build this UX user interface for you, which again, can get really costly. There's a lot of times you have to update it and so forth. So there's third-party apps out there that could help you re-index your search based on popular search categories and so forth. So again, when someone goes to your search box, it actually could also auto-populate, like a list will come down based on, like, say, popular searches. So before even a customer types in something, it could already list ideas, giving your customer ideas on what they could be looking for.
Yeah.
Other benefits of doing this, which I really love this because we don't talk about this in any podcast, is let's say a customer, you tag them based on a certain ad that they came through to your site. Let's say if you targeted a male audience, right, that are motivated and so forth, and you had a UTM parameter which tagged your customer based on that, you're gonna start, your search results will differ versus, like, say, a female person if you set it up such that you could do that with these search tools. You could actually tag customers and show results based on who that person is. So you
Definitely
get really,
on the more
really
complicated
detailed
side, and that's definitely on the detail side.
So,
and then I think this also, what we've talked about in past, is the search bars too. So on your left side or on the top bar, you'll have search bars. For this company, I think they have babies, and then they have kids, and then they have age brackets. But those sort of search bars can be customized for what your company is and what your products are. So just think about, let's say you have a food company with different food products. You have cookies, you have gummies, you have oils. I have the CBD company. Maybe for Sean, he has a canvas company, so he has motivational canvases, action canvases.
Or I could do by color.
Or by color.
Like Primer does by color.
Exactly. So because they're a company based on clothing colors, basic colors. So your search bar should be customized to what you think the customer will get the best function out of to getting to the product they would need. This is an interesting one that me and Sean talked about.
Number 5,
raise your AOV with gift wrapping. So I was going through the Primary website, and basically I add some things to my cart like I do in any company, just to see the functionality, see what they have. And they have a gift wrapping option for $8. So I thought this was interesting. Their products are no more than $25, but now you can get a gift wrap for $8. So the mathematician I am, I was like, 33% added value in AOV. That's crazy. So then I thought to myself, okay, this works really well with, especially if your product or is a gift, or it could be gifted to someone. Gift. Then they don't have to worry about wrapping. It comes in a great appearance. You just added 33% to your revenue for this item. Crazy. And then I thought, okay, there's multiple ways to do it, because you always have to think about the supply chain and the fulfillment. So you can possibly, like Primary does, they have a special like tote bag or special bag that they send and they put the clothing into.
Is it a tote bag or just like wrappers? Like, a foil wrap?
I don't know if it's a foil wrap. I think it's a bag of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like one of those bags that when you wrap wine around.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of looks like that. Like you get for 2 cents and they sell for 8.
Exactly. Or you can create a kind of gift bag that's like customized to your company that says, hey, a cool slogan, or it's a nicely designed bag, and then you can have it like your products put into that bag. But this is a great feature, thinking they probably pay 20 cents for that bag and sell it for $8.
Quick pro tip, go to Alibaba, type in custom bags. You could customize designs. You could get them from like 2 cents to $1, right? And make a whole design, and just it becomes your add-on. So go ahead.
Yep. And that was basically it. So just taking that idea from them and implementing it into your business, you can raise your average order value by, say, 10, 15, 20%. But you got to do the research and just get the bags off Alibaba. And then if someone adds the gift wrapping in, you put it into the bag and then you send it out. And you just made another 20% on your revenue for that item. Not too bad of an add-on.
Agreed. Always increase that average order
Value.
goal. All right, number 6, designing creatives for Pinterest that people really search for, that people are searching for on Pinterest, that redirects back to your website. So primary, their Pinterest is actually pretty cool. They're creating a bunch of these creatives based on like DIY stuff. So like do-it-yourself Halloween costume ideas for your kid. Here's some, actually I got a screenshot here where I saw it says 70 plus DIY animal costumes. So easy, you won't bat an eye. And basically you'll see a creative with, that's the title.
It's like a cute
and it's
kid.
It's a cute kid wearing like a bat hat and so forth. So when you actually click on that, or depending on what creative it is, when I click on that, it goes into their search filter on their website, which is giving them all the 70 plus Halloween costume ideas on their site. So they don't sell costumes. They're creating DIY costumes using their simple clothing line. So
their pajamas, their clothing lines. Yeah.
now, there's some other products where you actually click on, when you click on their the Pinterest creative, it'll go to the product page. It'll show you like this DIY costume idea. Let's say it's like Pokemon. This is what I saw for a girl, Pokemon, being dressed as Pokemon. You need these 2 items, which is the 2 items they sell, just regular clothing, which they don't even have to wear as a costume. They could just wear as regular clothing, but they can make it look like this image, which is a Pokemon costume, by following these instructions. This is actually pretty nuts, and I really loved it. If you could implement this, you could do some sugar and kush. I was telling you about this
all the time.
DIY is always searched for, not only just Pinterest. People are always looking for DIY on Google.
Recipes,
so
yep.
In their product page, they title things DIY costumes, DIY Batman, DIY this. So many of their product names are called DIY.
Yeah.
They're just repurposing their products they already have.
Of course.
And recreating different types of products with the same product.
Yep.
Just calling it something differently, and that increases their SEO because that's what people are searching for. And they go on that page, you see the instructions, how to make this, instructions. It's almost like they're creating recipes, which is awesome. So this is something that's really gonna help improve their SEO, which is probably increasing their organic traffic as well. So by doing
You're also
that,
multi-purposing their products. That's the biggest thing too.
Yeah.
It's, hey, think about, they never created this strategy of costumes or DIY. They would be just selling clothing. But now they've created a whole new strategy where they could possibly create another channel of revenue for people. Hey, Halloween costumes for children, get a bat hat, and then you'll be wearing a gray pajama primary, basically a pajama set. So, I mean, now you have a whole new avenue. You created that avenue. It was never there. You created this idea. Okay, let's use our products for DIY costumes for babies and kids. It's genius.
Another brand that did this during the COVID, during the whole lockdown, this brand, I forgot the name of it. They were selling something regarding for weddings, right? And they created a DIY to create something for face masks using some of their products. When they created that, I forgot what it was. It increased their traffic by a twofold. It was a significant amount of traffic. It increased their sales. I wish I could think of this example, but they really titled it a certain way.
I think it was like elegant, really like customizable, like white lace.
I think
mask,
so. You know what I'm
right?
talking? Yeah.
I think
so it drove a lot of traffic because they were losing a lot of sales because the wedding season was obviously off during COVID and so forth. So this DIY stuff is huge. You could do it with Sugar and Kush, his CBD brand, where these droplets. I was just thinking you could do DIY pancake mix, DIY all this, just put that in part of your product list, and you say, hey, ingredients used.
Yep.
Products
we have
for
a lot
this
of blogs.
and this.
We have
this,
blogs,
this.
recipes, and things
That's one way of doing it with the blogs, but also in the product category, which I believe that could really help the SEO part. Depends on how you actually
it's tough.
Set it up.
The issues that people run into is your SKUs. You have only so many SKUs, and then when people, if you're retitling your SKUs into so many things, you have to basically then in your fulfillment center or wherever you get it, you're going to have these different SKUs, and it becomes a supply chain nightmare. But obviously, primary figured out how to do it.
Yep. Awesome. Is that it?
That's all.
Guys, I hope you liked this episode. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Give us a 5-star rating if you found this content valuable. If you have any questions, you could tweet at mscopac or at Sean_Azari. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button and stay tuned for more weekly videos as well. See you next week. I don't have my pen over there. There's my pen.
Have a good night.
Peace.